how about if we start? If anybody'd like to share a quote, we all receive quotes, I think, from the center and from Baba Zoom. So you can read any quote that you have. And let's see, I'm finding mine. Here it is. I can make it a little bigger. Mine says, if God were good rather than bad, or bad rather than good, or if he were small rather than great, or great rather than small, or if he were right rather than wrong, or wrong rather than right, or if he were virtuous rather than evil, or evil rather than virtuous, or if he were happy rather than miserable, or miserable rather than happy, he would be finite and not infinite. Only by being above duality is God infinite. Well, there's a thought. I guess the only thing I can say about that was a friend of mine years ago sharing with me how she had been with a group and they were in a cave and they were going deeper and deeper and deeper into this cave. And the deeper they went, people started to fall off. They weren't able to keep up. They had enough in the cave, but in they went and in she went. And finally, I guess at some point she just came to the realization of how much she limited Baba in her mind, in her spiritual life. And I think that is what happens also for me, is that I find myself limiting Baba and not giving him like the full reign of possibility in my life. So that idea of making him one thing or another brings me to how I limit him. And I've just been thinking a lot about how Baba loves me, which is really hard for me to think about. It's hard for me to open up and let that be. So I think that limiting Baba is part of what I'm going to be looking at as the year shifts into another new one. So if anybody has any thoughts on that quote, they're certainly welcome to share. And we do have hands raised. So yeah, Ellen, were you just waving or are you good? You want to share something? Okay.
I was going to say about that quote that I think in times of such horrific events as we're having right now, it's very easy to limit Baba, and very, very hard not to.
We'll learn, huh?
Just a thought.
That's a great thought. I think you're right.
You mean rejecting the hard, ugly stuff? Is that what you're saying, Ellen?
Yes, yeah, I'm saying that there are awful things, and one absolutely wants to put Baba as, that's not Baba. No. Baba's all merciful. We want only peace.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good thought.
All right, anybody else? Well, then we'll move on to hands if nobody wants to step forward.
I have something to say.
Okay, Elizabeth, let's hear what you got.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Elizabeth.
I'm not ready to face anyone. That's why my video's off. I apologize. Well, you know, this part about Baba being everything is very difficult, because if he is beyond good and evil, beyond good and bad, beyond the opposites, because he has to be in order to be infinite, is very hard to accept. if you were raised in any kind of moral, ethical society, because it goes against all of our value structures and undermines everything we know. I mean, we've been raised with and believe. So I think it's extremely hard to understand that concept. It's kind of paradoxical because at the same time, the essence of God is love. And he said that he created the creation out of, this is what I remember. If I'm wrong, somebody say so, out of love. So, and that the essence of it all is this love, and Baba answering, or God answering the question, who am I? That's all.
Well, that's good. That's enough then.
Well, Elizabeth, the thing that I remember that Baba said that helps me with that is that he talked about surgery and how if the doctor cuts into you, you know that he's doing it for your own good, and that he had to do surgery sometimes. And that image does help me a little with that.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, you wonder what, in the world right now, it's so chaotic and so much conflict and so many awful things happening, especially in Gaza and the Ukraine. I mean, that's what's foremost in my mind. There are probably other places that are similar. You wonder what is going on, what is happening. And I just can't imagine, especially with all the children, in Gaza being killed, and kind of just what is senseless, and then all the people who were sick, and all these illnesses that are now developing, that's just multiplying the effects of all this. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be talking about this on a New Year's,
Okay.
but that was on my mind.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got it off your mind here. But I think we'll just go head on to Wendy. There's a lot in all these quotes. They're just so deep and wonderful. And I know people are suffering right now. I thought about it yesterday. I just was sitting on the edge of the bed, and it came to me that through all, that Baba kind of promises to give us everything. Baba's, I mean, coming to liberation, that we all inherit his love and godhood, or however the terminology is, that we're all headed home. There is, that's just what we're promised. And I think that in itself has been a huge help for me.
Yeah.
Wendy, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, I agree with what everybody's saying here. A good one to start with, opens the heart, right? So mine was, the state of complete desirelessness is latent in everyone. And when, through complete detachment, one reaches the state of wanting nothing, one taps the unfailing inner source of eternal and unfading happiness, which is not based upon the objects of the world, but is sustained by self-knowledge and self-realization. My response to that was, that's going to probably take me a long time to process.
Can you read it again?
Sure can.
Sorry.
The state of complete desirelessness is latent in everyone. And when, through complete detachment, one reaches the state of wanting nothing, one taps the unfailing inner source of eternal and unfading happiness, which is not based upon the objects of the world, but is sustained by self-knowledge and self-realization. Jai Baba.
Hmm.
That was a
Wendy.
big one. That's a big one for me anyway.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely, and yeah. And I think for myself, it's getting older and having to downsize, you having to let go of things, the material things, and look at what matters, what doesn't matter. So, yeah, I'm a work in process. Jai Baba, everyone.
Jai Baba. Wendy, you're not alone. We're all work in progress. But I don't know, there was something about the terminology was I know self-realization was the second one, but I don't know, I guess I feel like as I'm getting older, I am getting to know a deeper self a little bit. So that gives me hope for that quote.
And we have each other in this lovely circle. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Anybody have any thoughts about what Wendy read?
I think about Baba's father, how at the end of his life, he really had nothing. And yet Baba said he was just the most beautiful soul, you know. And I think about that description of him not even having an indoor toilet, or how, these people that Baba loves so dearly, it's almost like he gave them the gift of taking away so that to help them get to that state of desirelessness.
Beautiful. Well said, my dear.
Erich
That-
is such a simple Erich.
Erich. Okay.
Yes.
A little tiny room in the seclusion. It was just a bed and desk.
Yeah.
Oh, and wow, what a big person he is. Our life.
Yeah. Well, I guess you guys saw that there are some books coming out about Erich. Devana Brown has written, I think it's coming out in the spring, the first volume. There'll be 3 of them. So that's kind of exciting. Now, Rhoda, I'm confused. If your hand was already up and it went down, I think you're next. Do
Okay.
you want to read?
Thank
Thanks.
you. It's interesting because I feel like my quote is very related to what we've just spoken about. And also, it was the perfect quote for me. Remember, darkness must precede the dawn, and be glad you are not outside of these experiences. These changes of heat and cold, light and darkness, response and indifference. The real and only tragedy of human life is when the individual is unresponsive and untouched by life's experiences.
Wow, that's,
Hey, Baba.
yeah. Can you read it one more time?
Sure. I wish we had all of these quotes printed out. Jeff needs to make a book of Baba quotes. Remember, darkness must precede the dawn, and be glad you are not outside of these experiences, these changes of heat and cold, light and darkness, response and indifference. The real and only tragedy of human life is when the individual is unresponsive and untouched by life's experiences.
I love that one.
I do too. If we all have these moments where we are so aware of Baba's love. They may be fleeting, they may be hard to get to, or they may be really dramatic. But if we were in that place all of the time, we would be God realized, or it wouldn't be it wouldn't have the same perspective, because that contrast, I feel, really gives us the perspective of seeing how loved we are.
Radha, could you read us the last sentence, please, again?
Yes. The real and only tragedy of human life is when the individual is unresponsive and untouched by life's experiences.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't quite understand. I guess um, I don't understand that and detachment and the difference between the two.
Well, having gone through some stuff this year that was hard for me, that is, Baba has helped me with so much. Personally, I tried to solve everything myself and I didn't know how. And it really put me in a position where I had to give it to Baba. I didn't feel I had any choice. And the most amazing things started to happen. And I became less attached to needing to control the outcome of my desires. So I feel my response of initially a response of pain, and then moving through other responses, finding great joy in the Baba community, joy in singing. And I went from this, probably one of the most painful places I'd ever been in my life, to this a place that's so much more deeply loving and more unattached. So that's kind of my take on it. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Radha. Beautiful. All right, Meher. Jai Baba. Good morning.
Papa. Okay. Worry accumulates and grows strength and becomes a habit long after the cause has ceased to be.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that one too. Would you mind reading it one more time?
I thought so. I was waiting for you to say that. Worry accumulates and grows strength and becomes a habit long after the cause has ceased to be. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Meher. I guess we all understand that one pretty well, huh? Jai Baba. Ah, Mike, good morning. Jai Baba. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, you're
Well,
muted.
there we go. There we go. Okay. Got my buttons mixed up.
Good morning.
Good morning. There is a deep and imperative need in the human soul to love and identify itself with other souls. Human love, regardless of its limitations, should never be despised. It is bound eventually to break through all limitations to initiate the aspirant into eternal life in the truth.
Wow, that's gorgeous. Would you mind reading it again?
There is a deep and imperative need in the human soul to love and identify itself with other souls. Human love, regardless of its limitations, should never be despised. It is bound eventually to break through all limitations to initiate the aspirant into eternal life in the truth.
You know, as many times as I've read and reread Baba books and things, I don't ever remember reading this. Maybe I did and I just breezed through it really quickly, but this is, it looks like something new to me. I don't know how you all feel about it. I never remember Baba zeroing in on human love and human. Well, I mean, he certainly did, but not quite like this. I don't know what you all feel about that. It's
Hmm.
but Baba's words are always fresh, but this is really quite remarkable.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't know that I've ever heard Baba speak of human love as kind of a stepping stone, is what
Yeah.
to divine love. That's what I heard in that quote. And I don't know that I've heard that source either. Anybody else?
Well,
I will
Oh.
tell you, Ruthie,
Yes,
there's
dear.
one thing what I'm just giving you mind this thing. Oh, there is a calendar called Eternal Calendar. I don't know if you all have got it, but the words are very similar in those when you read the quotes. Each quote is to the calendar.
Okay.
We
Thank
do.
you, Megan.
Can you read that one more time?
Okay.
Hope for us all. Read it again.
There is a deep and imperative need in the human soul to love and identify itself with other souls. Human love, regardless of its limitations, should never be despised. It is bound eventually to break through all limitations to initiate the aspirant into eternal life, in the truth.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think of, how Baba talks about love in the discourses and how, the tiger loves the deer, that the attraction that love brings in all these forms, is love. It's just in such a simple form and how we progress through. So, yeah, I don't know that it's in the discourses, but for some reason,
Ruthie, it is. And that's what I wanted to bring up, that talks about that a lot. And it talks about, I'm trying to remember, they're in two, they're in, I can't think of which ones. I mean, it's on love, but it's also on there are two discourses I know that address it, and they also address the sexuality part of love as well in those, which makes it a little uncomfortable to read sometimes. But anyway, I know it's there, and with all the various versions.
Well, if anybody discovers it, let us know what page, what we're looking at.
I'll try to find it for you.
All right. Well, Wendy's got her hand up. Yeah, Wend.
I find this very reassuring because in years of the work that I've done with groups, something I've said over and over and over again is, as human beings, we are hardwired to be in community. I'm so glad to hear this today. Now I just got to find out where to find it in Baba's work. So, yay! That was.
I remember one other, just a little vignette, and I'm not sure where I read it, but I think it was in Baba talking to, I think it was Helen Dom, or one of the European women that they were in India, and they tended to stay to themselves and not communicate or participate as much in the activities. And he told her that it was absolutely essential for her to interact with other people, that it was really part of what she needed to do. And I think that he kind of meant that maybe in a sense everybody needs to do that.
Yeah, I also recently now is coming back. There's something, I swear, there was something that Baba said that relationship was the path in a sense. And I can't remember. I think might have been one of the late nights with Jeff.
The discourse on marriage, Baba talks about, that the two souls together can, if they, as they grow, pursue a higher goal, that it can be a stepping stone towards God. If you read the discourse on marriage.
I remember that. I don't remember this one though.
Do you know?
Okay, I have them. I have the two discourses.
Whoops.
Don't read all of them. Just give us the idea of where Mike is.
So here they are. In volume 1, the discourse on love. And it talks, love pervades the universe, reign of love to inanimate nature, love in the animal kingdom, human love has to adjust to reason. 3 combinations of love and reason, qualitative variety in love, lower forms of love, the lower is the enemy of the high, and it goes on. Love is infatuation, etc. Pure love, the best discipline. Okay, then the second one is in volume 3, and it's God is infinite love. And it says, essence of God is love. I'm glad I got that part right. And then it says, course of manifest love. Love is lust, love and gross fear, lust is extreme limitation, and lust, self-assertion of infinity is indirect. 3 stages of the lover: love in the subtle fear, love is longing, love in the mental sphere, love is resignation. Divine love is infinite, then the divine romance. So those are the 2 discourses I was thinking about.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I
Hey,
love the discourses.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I see, Mike, we're still going to have to find that quote, and we won't give it up yet. But I hear you. What a beautiful thing. I love the quality that Barbara brings us, that it's that freshness that you mentioned. Things that you read, some just have a freshness about it. It's amazing. Thank you for that too.
So the quote is not known where it's from?
Not yet, but we're still looking, Joy.
Uh-huh.
Just narrowing it down.
Narrowing it down, that's right. Marilyn, Jay Baba.
Okay, I'm sure we'll find it. Eventually, Baba will reveal it to someone and they'll share it. So, J Bob, everybody. I guess what I want to start off is the quote that I always read first at the Baba Zoom already in the mornings when I attend. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai, except God, all things are a passing show. God is never changing. All else is ever changing. And I thank you, Baba, for another opportunity to greet a new year and to embrace more and more of your love, because you allow it and you give more of your love. You draw us closer and closer. Gradually, of course. And this is the quote I received. The lover need not worry about the quality of his love. He should love in spite of his weakness and not tarry till he can purify his own heart. The master is the very source of purity, and to set one's heart on the master is the beginning of self-purification. When the disciple has wholehearted devotion for the master, he opens himself to the reception of the divine love which the master pours upon him. All his weaknesses are consumed in this fire of divine love, of which he thus becomes the recipient. Mayor Baba.
Oh, beautiful, Marilyn. One more time, honey.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. The lover need not worry about the quality of his love. He should love in spite of his weaknesses and not tarry till he can purify his own heart. The master is the very source of purity, and to set one's heart on the master is the beginning of self-purification. When the disciple has wholehearted devotion for the master, he opens himself to the reception of the divine love which the master pours upon him. All his weaknesses are consumed in this fire of divine love, of which he thus becomes the recipient. Dear Baba.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It almost ties in with the last quote that Mike brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan Chernil put a nice thing in the chat.
It seems like all of these on love that Baba, it's like they're just flowing into each other and expanding and opening. It's just, he's amazing.
It's true. Yes, Susan, do you want to bring forward what you had put in the chat?
I
Are
didn't
you
see.
there?
Okay.
Thank you.
My apologies for not being visible today, but you're
Okay.
lucky. Well, I wrote that once when Audie K was in the United States, he kept saying that God is love, God is love. And I raised my hand and asked what love is. And he said it's how we feel for our family and our own dear ones. You know, what I didn't go on to say is that at the time I was very conflicted about my family. And I told him that, and we had a whole conversation about that. And over many years, I grew to love my family. So the story goes on, but I wanted to share that part.
Beautiful.
Thank
you.
you.
Susan. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? We're all so grateful to be here. I know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, go
that,
ahead.
hi everybody. Meher Kiran here. So the quote on love and not to despise, I kind of reminded what Eruch told in one story to a girl who kept saying to Eruch, like when she speaks about Baba or spiritualism in her college, her complaint is like people fall in love with her. And Eruch replied to her, you don't have to worry. You use it as a tool.
Oh,
Can you
that's
say that again? What Baba said to her? You don't have, what did he say?
It's a story of Eruch. Eruch is visiting. I mean, I think one of those visitors who come and speak to Eruch in the Mandali Hall. So it's a story in that series. Is that clear? And then the story goes like a Western girl. She's saying to Eruch, "See, I have a problem when I go to my home country and talk about Baba. Let's say spiritualism in the college. The people who listen tend to fall in love with me." And
So
Eric's reply is, "Don't worry now. See, use it like a tool."
Use it like a tool.
Use it like a tool to bring them to me.
Oh, I didn't hear the last
The
few
last
words.
part is to bring them to me.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what they're falling in love with, really, is Baba's love, right?
So now the quotation is like in a different way we can understand. Don't despise human emotions. All these mundane emotions are anyway dissolved in the eternal love.
and that was what Mike's book was about. Was
Yeah.
human love. Yeah. The stepping stone.
We'll find where you might. I'm trying to think of a way to get that quote in a more universal form so that we can look it up, Mike. Because I'd have to see the quote again to be able to be sure.
I wonder if Jeff Overton could help us.
Yeah.
He's the king of the
Usually
quotes.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Excuse me. I don't know who's on tonight, but they'll have a late night. I'll take a look in a minute. Bob? Say Baba.
Jay Baba, I'm still trying to figure out what to sort of think about this one. It was very different to me, very different from. Anyway, here's the quote. Surrender to the will of the master is in itself very difficult, but it becomes more so under the gaze of friendly onlookers. To them, the actions of the spiritual aspirant often seem incomprehensible, as if he were sacrificing his most precious possession, his free will. Well, I don't know. That brought up so many thoughts. I mean, just the idea of surrender being such an ongoing, step-by-step, tiny bit at a time process. For me, anyway, it's not something that, can be done all at once. Maybe eventually one gets to that point, but it's such a moment by moment sometimes thing, trying to trying to see, put all my wants and fears aside in order to be close to what Baba would like. And then this idea of the gaze of friendly onlookers. I mean, I just feel so lucky to have my community of Baba lovers here in the Denver area, as well as all of you on Zoom, that it, you know, I have not really encountered, and except perhaps from one relative who has never really said anything disparaging, but absolutely does not accept anything that I've tried to share about Baba. So it's been an interesting quote for me to kind of mull over last night and this morning. So, Jai Baba.
Yeah. Can you read it just one more time?
Sure. Surrender to the will of the master is in itself very difficult, but it becomes more so under the gaze of friendly onlookers. To them, the actions of the spiritual aspirant often seem incomprehensible, as if he were sacrificing his most precious possession, his free will.
I don't know why. For me, it's bringing up something of Rumi's poetry. I don't know what that's about, but that was beautiful. And I hear you. Surrender is quite a topic, and you said it beautifully, because I think for me it's in layers. I think I've surrendered something, and then it seems that within a day there's something deeper, and I think, oh no. So yeah,
This again. Yeah, I get it.
it's, oh my God, I thought I had it. Yeah, beautiful.
He
Thank you.
described it just spot on. I mean, from the outside looking in, it's to give up one's free will is it is something. It's definitely something. It's scary, definitely. And we happen to have a really good reason for to surrender, but that's all. That's, you know, we agree. Yeah, within our group, we have. There's no question, but to the outside world, I think it's apt. That quote is very apt. To, I think most of us have maybe family members or friends who look askance at surrender.
Thank you, Betty. All right, Seppi. Jai Baba, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hey, Baba, good evening in my case. Before I read, I have a couple of quotes here, but before I read them, you said something, Ruthie, that I wanted to address that I didn't quite get. You said, love is like when the tiger looks at the deer, and all I could think was, yeah, and then rips it apart.
Hunger.
So, yeah. So I don't know whether you can elaborate further where you read that, or
yeah, it's in the discourses. I'll have to go get a Baba
not
talks about finite, the most finite or the most gross form of love, you know, and we move through. But yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is my personal quote that came the other day, and it's very apt for me at the moment, because much as I would like to just be on every Zoom and just be with Baba, I have an awful lot to do in the real world in this coming year. And the quote is, the best way to cleanse the heart and to prepare for the stilling of the mind is to lead a normal life in the world. Living the midst of your day-to-day duties, responsibilities, likes and dislikes becomes the very means for the purification of your heart. So for me, that was really comforting, actually, because as I'm doing these things that some I don't want to have to do at all, but need to, and I know that I'm thinking that that's what Baba wants me to do, and I'm getting that he's really pushing me that way. That was really helpful. Did you want to again, or shall I read the other one?
Please, one more time.
The best way to cleanse the heart and to prepare for the stilling of the mind is to lead a normal life in the world. Living the midst of your day-to-day duties, responsibilities, likes and dislikes becomes the very means for the purification of your heart.
Beautiful.
And then the other one, I don't know, some of you may have received this. This comes from Norwich. The Norwich sites, I think some people are linked, and it came today, I think. Spiritual progress is like climbing through hills, dales, thorny woods, and along dangerous precipices to attain the mountain top. On this path, there can be no halting or return. Everyone must get to the top, which is the direct realization of the Supreme Godhead. All hesitation, sidetracking, or resting in halfway houses, or arguing about the best route only postpones the day of final fulfillment. Avatar Meher Baba.
Seppi, that was mine.
Oh, right. Sorry. Well, you can.
No, don't be sorry. That felt wonderful for you to read it to me.
Yeah, but you can read it. I won't read it a second time. That just came through from the
No, I love that you're reading it. It feels very special. Read it again.
Oh, well, I want you to read it, my darling.
I'll read it too.
Yeah.
Well, our hand is raised. We'll get there in an hour. Or so.
Okay. Anyway, I just like that too, because that came as well. So I thought both are very apt.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Che Baba.
And we have Joy. Good morning. We do have Joy.
Hi, thank you. Seems like things are coming in threes for me. First of all, I want to say Jai Meher Baba, and I'm so grateful to have a Baba community to share these so powerful words. I started out this morning with an ache in my heart, and when I hear different quotes, it seems like the words themselves make a change right away. So I'm very grateful for that. I have three short things. A couple months ago, I was in a crisis and I was looking through my inbox and I didn't know what to do next. And I have all these papers and I had all sorts of jobs and things to take care of. And I was overwhelmed. So I turned over this one piece of paper. It was just something out of the trust office. And there was a quote I hadn't seen before amongst my all my things that I was working on. Your job is to remember me. Everything else is my job. It just changed everything. It was like, oh, how did you know I needed this, Baba, right now, you know? It was amazing, like the relief I felt. And so that's my favorite one for this month or two. Yesterday, I was listening to a Baba story from someone at a gathering, and it had a big effect on me. She said that the Mandali and the women Mandali and the Western Mandali were having a dispute over a letter that was written to Mani about someone who was trying to decide if they should buy a condo or not. It was like a really long letter or something. And there were all these different opinions from this Western letter. And Baba happened by and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "What are you arguing about? It's already decided." And that was like a boom fell on me again. Like I got up this morning, it's already decided. You know, these problems with this other person or these longings for this or that, it's like, forget it, it's already decided. And that also gave me relief. I kind of felt like skipping somehow and forgetting everything I was being affected by. It's all decided. Now, the quote I got online, I didn't really like it at first. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I should read it a second time. And I read it a second time and it really did hit home. And what it is, I don't know where it's from. Spirituality does not mean the external renunciation of worldly desires. It means the internal renunciation of mundane desires. Freedom from desires is real life. One has to go beyond desires to enjoy freedom. The spiritual life is lived when a person is free from all desires, thus becoming open and guileless. That's the end. And I thought, wow, I resist being guileless. I guess I'll start taking that on. Just be this little kid, and take that on as part of my effort in life is to be guileless and see how that works. Okay.
Thank you. That's a good destination. Guilelessness. Good morning, Rosalie. Jay Papa.
Hey, Ruthie, I'm sorry, this is Shilpa. Can I make a comment on what Joy read?
Please, I'm sorry, do.
Yeah, Jai Baba, everyone. So the first quote that she read, actually, I have, I think Eric Tepperman makes those cards, and one of them was that quote behind it, and I have it at work, and I always feel that, it's so simple, but it's so hard to do. So I appreciate the reminder from the quote about just giving it to Baba, and just think of him. Because I think, everyone faces whatever challenges in life, but we are not always the best at leaving it to him. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a thought? Yeah, you brought some beauty to us. Thank you, Joy. Ellen, Jay Baba.
What, wasn't Rosalie next?
Yeah, you're right, but I don't know.
I am next because you said so, right?
Yes, you are, darling. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're forgiven.
Thank you.
Anyway, this is my offering. Every day during the pandemic, I took these words in from Baba's mystical language, and I don't regret one word. So this is during the Blue Bus time that these were given. They've been in print 80 years. It was between 1938 and 42. And they are an open treasure that's seldom mined. And these are the words. See me live in you in small ways of life. The everyday ritual of selfless harmony. The unsatisfied element in you is God, who needs you to be like him. Unsatisfied humor is God, when winning in you the dual show of I. I am the motive-making I, to lift in I the truth. God is monotheistic realization reaction in I. I am one in all. See me give in you the real order to resign in self-importance. I am in you the truth, creating you dual in humble ways of I. Lift in the I that is me. Life has two sides, and one way to make the two sides. Left and one, right and one. God as one is two in one. See to join the threefold show of I as subconscious, conscious, and superconscious existence in one all I life, realizing subconscious, conscious, superconscious union, its own godhood. Love this game and I. See me in it. Pure joy. That's from the Mayor Baba Journals, this gold mine that Baba left. And this one is entitled God Has to Be Manifested. And I can't say how grateful for these words every day. I just imbibed them because that's all we have. Our dance of life is our everyday, what we're doing, how we're being, but that's God being in us. See me live in you. You and I are not we, but one. Anyway, that's my share, and I'm sticking with it. It's all from the Blue Bus time when these were published. And someone asked Kitty Davy about them. She says, these are the words, can't we change the words, Baba? And Baba says, don't change one word. These are for the future. So here we sit in the future. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you so much. Beautiful words. See me in it. Well, Diane and Terry, Jai Baba.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're lying in bed, so that's why we're voice only.
That's good.
And Terry's going to read hers.
Spiritual progress is like climbing through hills, dales, thorny woods, and along dangerous precipices to attain the mountaintop. On this path, there can be no halting or return. Everyone must get to the top, which is the direct realization of the Supreme Godhead. All hesitation, sidetracking, or resting in halfway houses, or arguing about the best route only postpones the day of final fulfillment. Jai Baba. Do you want it again?
Yeah.
Spiritual progress is like climbing through hills, dales, thorny woods, and along dangerous precipices to attain the mountaintop. On this path, there can be no halting or return. Everyone must get to the top, which is the direct realization of the Supreme Godhead. All hesitation, sidetracking, or resting in halfway houses, or arguing about the best route only postpones the day of final fulfillment. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. And
And
Diane.
mine is, unlike other living creatures, which are born insignificantly, live an involuntary life, and die an uncertain death, the physical birth of human beings connotes an important and, if they are circumspect about it, perhaps a final stage of their evolutionary progress. Here, onward, they no longer are automations, but masters of their destiny, which they can shape and mold according to will. And this means that human beings have passed through all the travails of lower evolutionary processes, should insist upon the reward thereof, which is spiritual birth in this very life, and should not rest content with a promise in the hereafter. It's very heady for my sense right now. So if anybody has it.
Would you mind just one more time reading it? Because I got something. It was beautiful.
Okay. Unlike other living creatures, which are born insignificantly, live an involuntary life, and die an uncertain death. The physical birth of human beings connotes an important, and if they are circumspect about it, perhaps a final stage of their evolutionary progress. Here, onward, they no longer are automations, but masters of their destiny, which they can shape and mold according to will. And this means that human beings, having passed through all the travails of lower evolutionary process, should insist upon the reward thereof, which is spiritual birth in this very life, and should, and by the way, should is in parentheses, not rest content with a promise in the hereafter. Is that like be here now?
Yeah,
That
present.
Can I share about what I got, Ruthie, about
Please.
this?
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's Mahu. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a very profound quote, and of course, Baba talks about it in God Speaks and other book of his, Infinite Intelligence, and so forth. So Baba emphasizes on the era that human being actually come to birth, and he compares it with other lower consciousnesses, like through the evolutionary process, like a stone, metal, bird, you know, and all the way to monkey, and then in human being. So he compares it, and then what I get from that, Baba says, human beings are the master of their destiny. They can shape up their life the way they want it. In other words, he gives us full authority to do what is needed. And of course, he as a master is going to help us. And also, he talks about a spiritual birth. Like, well, could be his new life, but a spiritual birth. So each one of us can, you know, have a spiritual birth.
Beautiful.
Each year, every time we choose to, you know,
Beautiful.
like that. In fact, it's very inspiring quote.
It is beautiful. Thank you, Mahu. I keep thinking of The Hobbit. You know, Baba said that The Hobbit was like the spiritual journey. So the one that Terry read about, you know, climbing to the mountaintop and all the travails as we go, it just made me think of The Hobbit and the journey. But yeah. Thank you so much, Mahu. I think you've hit that on the head. Anybody have any thoughts or? All right, we'll move on to Shelley. Good morning, Jai Baba.
Good morning, Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Let me find my quote.
Right.
Okay. This is the one I was sent, and I really like it. It resonates within me. When it is clearly understood that spiritual wisdom is latent in all, you will no longer be anxious to provide others with ready-made answers and solutions. Remember that the spiritual wisdom you desire to convey to others is already latent in them, and that you have only to be instrumental in unveiling that spiritual wisdom. Spiritual progress is not a process of accumulation from without, it is an unfoldment from within. And yeah, I mean, all we can do is be that instrument, hopefully, for Baba to unfold whatever is going to be unfolded in that person. But it just reminds me of one of my favorite quotes of Baba's, and this is Baba speaking. Make your life itself my message of love and truth to others. And that's one of my very favorite quotes. And I think that is the best thing that we can do, is to try our best to be all that Baba wants us to be. And hopefully he'll do the rest. And I know it's easier said than done. And I know I fail all the time, but I always come back to that quote. And try my best to put myself back on the right track. Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. That's a great quote.
Jai Baba.
Yeah, Jai Baba. Yeah. Anybody have any thoughts? All right. Diana. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, good morning.
Morning.
So here's my quote. Through living for others, your own life finds its amplification and expansion.
Mm.
And so I say, yeah, I agree.
Read it again. Please read it again.
Through living for others, your own life finds its amplification and expansion. And nothing just wells up and bubbles up for me. So I'm thinking, what am I missing? You know, something's here. How do I go deeper with this? And one thing, two words actually stand out for me. This is through living for others. It doesn't say through serving others. It says through living for others. And that's kind of a nonstop job. And I don't know how to truly live for others. That's quite something. That's just always, that's what it sounds like to me. And the other word that's sort of intriguing is amplification. Expansion, I have a sense of, meaning larger, but amplification. So I actually went to the dictionary to make sure I knew what amplification was. And it includes the idea of increased strength, of being louder, of being more, like more information, and again, being stronger. And the image that came to me was that in living for others, which I can only see as serving others, Baba can be stronger in us and louder in us and more in us. And I like that. I could use some help if anyone else has an idea. Okay.
I love the way you kind of deconstructed that. That was really short quote, but
Can you
powerful.
read it again, please?
Yes.
This is short.
Thank you.
Through living for others, your own life finds its amplification and expansion. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Well,
Does
isn't
it mention the source, Diana?
no, there are no.
Angela Chen.
Yeah, no, the sources weren't on the quotes.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I mean, it seems as
sorry.
if we have a theme going here. And it started with the Millers and human love. So thank you. That's beautiful.
I suppose you could think of it as taking the ego out of the way if you're living for others and not for yourself. That might be one way of looking at it as well.
Yeah, nice. Well, Patty
Thank you.
Curtis.
Oh.
Hey, Baba, thank you.
Could I say one thing about this?
You know, I'm sorry, you don't, go ahead.
It'll be short.
No, take your
I
time.
think living for others is the same as living for Baba. When you come in, when you're loving others and you come to that place where they don't understand you, or there's this real sense of separation and distance, if you can shift that focus to truly doing what we've talked about for so long, to see them as Baba, then it helps us get up the mountain.
Thank you, Rhoda. That's wonderful. That's truly an amplification of what I read.
Yay.
Well, I'm doing a bad job here. Ellen, we'll be back with you, but Patty, if you want to go ahead.
Ruthie,
Sure.
my quote really complements Diana's, so maybe after that I can read mine. So to complement that, it's very related.
All right, let's see. Patty, do you want to go ahead?
Sure, I'm happy to. I'm happy to. Jai Baba, everybody, and happy early New Year. I joined late. We have company, so I'm going to slide off after this is over. But I got two quotes, and the quote was the same as Terry's, the spiritual progress, and I think of someone else's or two others, and I was kind of, okay, this is my life, you know, with that quote. So I won't read it again, but it is about the hills and dales and the hobbit's journey. I understand that 100%. But what was so grand was the next quote, which made it all be put in perspective. Many bitter experiences of the past often open new vistas that help you to understand things better, as they have been instrumental in making you what you are now. A changed being with a different outlook on life, and ushering you into a spiritual reality where you will find peace, bliss, and love. Jai Baba.
Ooh, one more time.
Yeah, you know, after all these hills and dales, I'm still in the hills and dales, and there's a lot going on in my life, and this could not be a better encouragement for me for 2024, which on the horizon is a really tough road, unfortunately. So here we go. Many bitter experiences of the past often open new vistas that help you to understand things better, as they have been instrumental in making you what you are now, a changed being with a different outlook on life, and ushering you into a spiritual reality where you will find peace, bliss, and love. MS Irani. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful to hear the quotes. And we have company, so I feel like I need to depart, but I will review this with the recording. So thank you all so much. Lots of Baba's love to everybody. Jai Baba.
Love to you, Patty. So good to see you.
thank
Have a wonderful day.
I will. Thank you so much.
Jai Baba. Ellen, are you there? Ellen?
Yes, I'm here. I had to unmute there.
Thank you, dear.
So my quote was, your love should be so deep that it makes you forget yourself and the world. This experience will leave you desireless, dazed, and confounded. This is real love. I think perhaps this is for me to work with because I try to tend my mind and keep it working. And Bob is saying, well, yeah, no. Don't worry about that. If you get there, you're going to not be bothering with the mind so much, perhaps.
There's another Baba quote, Ellen, that says you have to love God so much till you are goofy with love.
Ah, thank you, Pam. Lovely.
Again, Ellen.
Your love should be so deep that it makes you forget yourself and the world. This experience will leave you desireless, dazed, and confounded. This is real love. Jai Baba.
How comforting. I'm not nuts.
You know, I have thought about that level of love, really, especially recently. And I can see this level of love in the musts, you know, the God intoxicated soul, which they have absolutely no attachment to the world or the way they look or their surrounding or whatnot. But really thinking about it, if we get even the glimpse of it or get close to it, some of these things that we say, oh, I'm having a hard time, this has been really hard, I'm going through suffering, all that get nonsense, really. I mean, our focus will be completely shifted. And that's what Baba is talking about. But to get there, perhaps some lifetimes, unless His grace bestow on us, like that.
Thank you, dear. Mr. Mike Miller.
I just wanted to say quickly the quote that Helen read. This is Helen, by the way. Her name's not on here because this is my work computer, so I'm
Thank
just
you.
bogarting the box here.
Helen.
Anyway, I found it on Google. Oh, did I lose it now? Here it is. It's the very same quote. It's taken from a talk Baba gave in Nagpur, 12th of November 1944, and it's referenced by M.E. I don't know what that means. Page 69 to 70. So it actually was, I don't know if it was from somebody's diary or what, but it was, Baba gave it in Nagpur. It's just a part of a much longer quote here, but
Yeah.
Wow. You
that's
found
it.
Yes. Well, Jeff is not here tonight, but next week he'll be here for late night. So, yeah, we might bring that back if anybody has the opportunity to find out what the
I could type
ME
it in.
stands.
I
Huh?
could type it into the chat, because it's not very long, so I could actually type it in so you have it.
If you don't mind, yeah, we'll take it.
We could do that.
All right.
If I type, we'll be here a week.
Well, we'll let Helen handle this part, Mike.
Good idea.
Thanks for looking it up. That's great. Mahu. Jai Baba.
Oops. Okay. Yeah, Jai Baba. I like to say that this quote came to me 2 days ago, which I was really in the midst of conversation with Baba, and I needed his help for clarity, for clearance in mind, to make some decisions, about the job and so forth. So, he knows what's going on with every one of us, and then he sent this, and there's a 2-part to it. It's beautiful. So I read it. So Baba says, if you have the quality of selfless service unaffected by results, similar to that of the sun, which serves the world by shining on all creation, on the grass in the field, on the birds in the air, on the beasts in the forest, on all mankind, with its sinners and its saints, its rich and its poor, unmindful of the attitude toward it, then you will win me. So the take on this, for me, it has 2 parts. The first is to have the quality of selfless service unaffected by the result. Don't think about the result. And the second part is be like the sun. Sun shines on everybody and anyone, right? Without thinking that, oh, do they care about me? Did they notice it? Am I going to be rewarded? Things like that. And well, it's a practice, I think. And another thing is, when I shared it with my husband, Sharior, he said that reminds me of a verse in Bible. See, Baba and Christ, same. So verse 45 in Bible, I look it up and I read it. It says, verse 45, that ye may be the children of your Father, which is in heaven, for he may keep his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. This is the verse from Bible, very similar. Yeah, I
Beautiful.
thought I shared.
Thank you, Mahu. That was beautiful. Ah, Jai Baba. Miss Pam, good morning to you. Jai Baba.
Good morning. Oh, I was unmuted. I didn't realize.
No
Good thing I
worries.
was quiet. Good thing my cat didn't have a fit like he does. Did you want me to do that song? The
I'd love for you to do that song. Yes.
Okay. Yesterday, Ruthie asked me if I'd do this song today because I played it yesterday. It has to do with New Year's. So it's Auld Lang Syne with Baba. Should God's acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should God's acquaintance be forgot and the days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dears, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For we have paddled in the stream many ages, sun till night, till Mayhair rescued us. It seems we are always in his sight. For Auld Lang Syne, my dears, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. And Mayhair now will fill your cup, and surely he'll fill mine. We'll take his cup of kindness yet for the sake of love divine. For Auld Lang Syne, my dears, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne.
That was beautiful, Pam. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Now,
you. And
you got a quote?
I have a quote. He who would live the life of the spirit must remain detached in the midst of worldly things without becoming cold or indifferent to them. Detachment should not be misunderstood as lack of appreciation. It is not only compatible with true evaluation of things, but is its very condition.
One more time.
He who would live the life of the Spirit must remain detached in the midst of worldly things without becoming cold or indifferent to them. Detachment should not be misunderstood as lack of appreciation. It is not only compatible with true evaluation of things, but is its very condition. In other words, you appreciate the things you're detaching from, but you're not becoming cold about or indifferent. You're just becoming detached from them because you want something better.
Beautiful. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I just thought these quotes are very related.
I know.
It's like Baba talks to us about same thing in different manner, different language or something.
Trying to get it across to us, huh?
Yeah, this one that Pam read is along the one Diana read and I read and two others.
One thing I was thinking of as you guys were reading your quotes was from the book Dilruba Days, where Kathy Riley said to Kitty that she found a place of her own, and Kitty was distraught with that idea. She said that she needed someone to live with, so that it's kind of like in marriage where the two rub against each other and work out the sanskaras. So it helps people get their rough edges knocked off. So
Sandpapering the ego, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember. It's just I've gotten older and I don't retain things so well, but there was something recently in late night that Jeff talked a lot about this idea of relationship and how Baba, many quotes about how Baba said important it was, like you say, Pam, for the sandpapering of the ego, for learning about love, for all of it. I mean, I just think this is certainly a big piece of what we're looking at now in our quotes. And also somehow detachment becoming part of that process.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked your quote a lot, Pam. And your song was beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ruthie. Thanks for suggesting it.
All right. Now we'll move to Judy. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Ruthie and everyone, as we bid farewell to another year of having the opportunity to remember Mayor Baba and to share him with each other. And we're going to enter yet another year that we get to remember Mayor Baba. I mean, what great blessing is that? Yeah, it's something to celebrate. Yeah. So Baba gave me this quote. When you love anyone, it is I whom you love. When anyone loves you, it is I who loves you. I am in all things. I'll read that again. When you love anyone, it is I whom you love. When anyone loves you, it is I who loves you. I am in all things. And for me, this really encapsulates in many ways the essence of this path that each of us is individually and all of us together are on, in finding ourselves in him, finding ourselves as him, finding him in everybody else. That's what this game is about. And I'm going to share tiny nuggets, 3 tiny nuggets from Baba, from the same source that Rosalie shared a long, much more than a nugget, a pot of gold. These messages that Mayor Baba gave in the late 30s and early 40s through Norina Machabelli in what he called his mystical language. They're different than the messages that he called thought transmission that he gave through Norina later in the 40s in Carnegie Hall and such places. Anyway, so here, these are very succinct on the same essence as I see it, as the quote that I was given for and just read for New Year's. So here's the first nugget. Be in you, me. Again, be in you, me. The second dual set here. See in you, me. Do in I, you, as me. I'll read that again. See in you, me. Do in I, you, as me. The other half of that guy. See in I, no one in self but me. Again, see in I, no one in self but me. And finally, to love is to be in the world for the use of all, which I feel deeply is one of the primary themes of all of these messages that Baba was giving through Norina during this period throughout World War II. Again, to love is to be in the world for the use of all. And use is in all capitals. And as I've been reading these messages with Scott McCaig on Baba Zoom for the last, ever since COVID started, that point of use is, I think, the single most utilized word in all of those messages. That this whole Baba seems to be emphasizing our very purpose of our existence is to be of use for others or for all. So that's my sharing for this transitional day between the old year and the new year. And the essence of that transition is that we get to love Baba, be loved by him, be loved with each other. Thank you, Baba. Jai Mer Baba.
Jai Baba, Judy. Thank you, honey. That was beautiful.
He is beautiful.
He is, yeah, he is beauty.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Marcia?
Hi, everyone. My quote: when you love, you give. When you fall in love, you want. Love is pure as God. It gives and never asks. The emergence of higher love from the shell of lower love is helped by the constant exercise of discrimination. Therefore, love has to be carefully distinguished from the destructive factors of infatuation, lust, greed, and anger. I'll read it again. When you love, you give. When you fall in love, you want. Love is pure as God. It gives and never asks. The emergence of higher love from the shell of lower love is helped by the constant exercise of discrimination. Therefore, love has to be carefully distinguished from the obstructive factors of infatuation, lust, greed, and anger. Baba. Baba.
Jai Baba.
That's a good one. Ties in with all the love today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He's honing it down for us, describing. Now let's see. Demeter? Am I saying that right? Oh,
Meher,
Mayor,
Meher.
Mayor. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mayor.
Yeah, I had my initial there anyway. So mine is a memorable, it will be a memorable quote. So easy to remember, I meant. Organizations are like the foam which brings unwanted things up to the surface of the sea, letting the real substance lie beneath, submerged in the depths. Societies and organizations have never succeeded in bringing truth nearer. Realization of the truth is solely the concern of the individual. Quote end.
Very, very superb. Thank you, Meher. Can you read it again?
Yeah, again, better,
Slower. I want to absorb it.
lower. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Organizations are like the foam which brings unwanted things up to the surface of the sea, letting the real substance lie beneath, submerged in the depths. Societies and organizations have never succeeded in bringing truth nearer. Realization of the truth is solely the concern of the individual. It is so apt for me, especially I like any other quote. I don't know if I am just getting drawn in a way I look at things, but this one says to me like, instead of making truth clear, all the organizations, government, politics, whatever, they put all so many obstacles. Now the real puzzle for the individual, he has to sort and filter. But then it's always like that. Baba is saying that truth is always a concern of the individual. And organizations, they always make it complicated.
Yeah. The guile comes in. Yeah. Not necessarily the purity is lost. Yeah. What a beautiful way of looking at that, though. That's the foam and the top of the ocean. Yeah.
Some trend of it could be in some Baba organization as well, because as Mirwan Jasavela told me once when I was visiting, he said, we are the macrocosm of the world. So if you see conflicts, and difference of opinion, backbiting, slander, it's because it's happening in the world. So we get affected by that because Baba still is working through us. So it's happening. Just to beware.
Hey, your little boy, can we say hello? I forget his name. he
Oh, yeah, is he there?
He's right there, I think.
Hey, Abhi, he's here. Abhi, they want to say hi.
Hi, hello, Abhi.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Baba.
And your wife, Meher?
Haripriya.
What's the name?
Hi, my name is Haripriya.
Haripriya. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Hey, Baba, very young.
Hey, Baba. Happy New Year.
Hey, Baba. Happy New Year.
Hey, Baba. Happy New Year. Abhi, say Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Oh, you're so cute.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Now, Betty, did you have a quote for us?
It's quite short, and I don't think there's much to discuss. Love can make you renounce everything and everyone, including your own self. Love can make you become God, live God's life, and make others God unto yourself. So it's a great aspiration.
It's a great affirmation, too. Go ahead one more time.
Love really
Sorry.
Love can make you renounce everything and everyone, including your own self. Love can make you become God, live God's life, and make others God unto yourself. Well, that last one is make others God unto yourself. I guess that means how you see them. But I
The
don't know.
Bodhisattva. Well, it's the yeah, that soul that I remember early on a poem somebody brought to a Baba meeting many years ago, and it was a woman who said she was so close to union, but she kept saying, no, no, please don't I don't want to merge. I want to be back with humans to help bring them to this. Yeah, so it's that one and Bodhisattva. Yeah, thank you, Betty. I'm just looking here. Kathy Alberta. How good to see you. Jai Baba. You unmuted? Kath? I swear. Well, something. Where is she?
Go.
Kathy? I don't know. We lost her.
No, she's here. She just can't seem to unmute. Kathy Alberta, I can see her.
Oh, I see her too. Kathy? Yeah.
Just unmute.
There you are.
Oh, good. Did you help me? I think somebody helped me.
Great.
Okay.
That was Baba.
That was Baba. Thank you.
So.
Thank you, Baba. Okay, I have a quote, and it's one that we've all heard, but I think it's about enthusiasm. And this is what I got. Try to always be happy. Never think life is dreadful and I am tired of life. Such thoughts really make life miserable. But if you think life is worth living, all difficulties will disappear.
Beautiful.
Well, all difficulties will appear insignificant.
Yes.
So they're not disappearing, they just don't seem significant, which would be a great step in certain days of the month or year.
Can you read it again, Kathy, please?
Yes. Try to always be happy. Never think life is dreadful. I am tired of life. Such thoughts really make life miserable. But if you think life is worth living, all difficulties will appear insignificant.
Yay. I love it. Thank you. What a great quote. Thank you, dear. That was beautiful. Rosalie, I see you. Jai Baba.
Actually, I like this one recently. It says, hold on to my demand so that you can reflect. Oh, remember that I love you so that you can reflect my love. Be loving to all. Be honest, natural, and childlike. I love that one. Yeah. I certainly hold on to my demand, but I like that. I think I left one of the words out, but certainly was be loving to all. And also in the mystical language, it's all in any and all. It's loving everyone. Yeah. And no matter who comes your way or who you're stuck with. Anyway, I have to say, I find, the mystical language the 40 messages, what's in there? There is some in there that's pretty mystical. And there's one line that this removes any guilt a person could conjure up. Man can only do what I in him enact. Man can only do what I in him enact. Baba says it's straight from the source. They're talking to the mystical language. And that one is like, and it is, it's you and I are not we, but one. But Baba's not asking us, giving us parables this time. We are the same, we are Baba, experiencing consciously being going towards that, There's no God but God. There's nothing, Anyway, the mystical language, I feel, is a fast track to intuition. That's my personal feeling. And I'm taking the fast track because he is manifesting. He said he would manifest, and he is manifesting. But I don't, I'm not a total pessimist, but, I look out and think, okay, it'll be a while. What are we going to have to experience? I want the fast track. I want something. And, he did say to Kitty Davy, who was close Mandali, when she was asked, she says, Narina was talking funny with these messages. Can't we change the wording? And Baba says, don't change one word. I don't know that Baba said that about anything ever in my contact. Yeah. But at any rate, he says, you are children, and thanks for those beautiful children. Those Mandali were, so beautiful. But anyway, us of us at our point, it's a real gold mine. And to step out of the way you think, because your worldview is in your language. And here in the United States, not many people study a second language. We think we're the best, but Baba says we would be brought to our, we would lead the world, LEAD, spiritually, but first we will have to be awakened. Anyway, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. And Bob. Jai Baba.
It's fun.
Oh, I just muted you, Bob. I'm sorry. Can you unmute?
There we go. Okay.
Sorry, that was me.
That quote that I think Mike read it earlier. It's actually two quotes, and I found the last part of it in this book, Meher Baba on Love.
Oh.
It's one of the old Meher era publication books, and that on page 60 of that, there is a message by Baba titled "Love and God," and one of the paragraphs is the second section of the one that Mike read, human love regardless of its limitations.
Yeah.
So that's in Love and God. And the first part, there is a deep and imperative need, and then you'll see an ellipsis there, little 3 dots. So I think Jeff melded these two together very beautifully, but the first part of it comes from somewhere else. And I haven't yet been able to, I know I have read it, I know I have seen it, and I'm going to have to go for a walk and get it out of my head because I can't, because I have not been able to find the first part, but we'll have to ask Jeff.
Yes. We'll bring it up next week, God willing.
What
Okay.
page was that, Bob, in Meher Baba on Love, please?
Meher Baba on Love. It's Love and God, pages 60 to 63. And the quote is actually on page 61, paragraph 3.
Thank you.
Ahmed? Jay Baba, are you there?
Hey Betty, this is Mel.
Jay Baba.
Oh, Ruth, sorry, Ruthie.
No problem.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear me because I'm sick. So I'm gonna try to read. I mean, my cord's very short, so it's a good thing.
Louder, please. Louder, Emil.
She's doing her best.
She may be away from the microphone.
Yeah, she said she's sick. She's in. You want to go ahead, Ahmed?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a tree is judged not by the size, but by the quality of its fruits, so a person's worth should be judged not by his talents, but by the use he makes of them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Can you read it again? I know you don't feel well, but could you read it one more time, please?
Sure. As a tree is judged not by the size, but by the quality of its fruits, so a person's worth should be judged not by his talents, but by the use he makes of them.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I like that one.
I do too.
Nice. So profound.
Thank you. Thank you for being sick and still reading to us.
You're welcome. So good to be with you.
Good to be with you as well.
Get some rest.
And thank you, Betty.
Well, it looks like somebody is okay. Jonathan, I don't know that you might have to go through Rosalie's computer because I don't know. I can't, are you unmuted?
He is unmuted. Yeah.
Well, he's not connected.
No,
for some reason.
can
There
you
you
can hear me? You
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. I came across this morning, so I just wanted to reread it. It's from Baba's sermon on the 16th of October, when he stepped out of the new life into the old life. And it's just a few excerpts from it. It begins, essentially, we are all one. The feeling of our being otherwise is due to ignorance. Soul desires consciousness to know itself, but its progress towards this goal, which it cannot realize independently of creation, it must undergo the experience which it gathers as the individualized false self, and which is all imagination. Thus, it is faced at the outset with ignorance instead of knowledge. A little later, the soul undergoes experiences through innumerable forms, such as being king and beggar, rich, poor, tall and short, strong and weak, beautiful and ugly, of killing and being killed. All these experiences must transpire as long as the soul, though it is one in reality and undivided, imagines separateness in itself. Again, a little later, the soul becomes free of the binding of impressions through various paths, and love is the most important of these paths, leading to the realization of God. Through this love, the soul becomes entirely absorbed in God, ultimately forgetting itself completely. Thus, this knowledge uproots illusions, doubts, and worries. Apparent sufferings are instantaneously replaced by everlasting peace and eternal bliss. which is the goal of all existence. The soul, now free from its illusions, realizes the original unity of being. In the last lines, the divinely perfect ones can bestow this knowledge on anyone they like and whenever they like. May we all gain this knowledge soon.
Let's do be you, be real, be one. Say it first.
Oh, Rosalie was right.
Oh,
We've done that.
No, this is good for the new year. This is from the mystical language. Be you, be real, be one. Be you, be real, be one. Be one in all, in I, in use of me. And we're going to just sing it briefly.
Oh, good. I was going to ask for that.
Be you, be real, be one. Be you, be real, be one. Be one in all, in I, in use in me. Be one in all, in I, in use in me. Be you, be real, be one. Be you, be real, be one. 2024 for oneness.
I just want to say that when we were at the Sahavas this last July, Scott McKay was there with us in France, and he taught us this, and we had a choir, an impromptu choir, singing exactly that. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
There is one other we can sing too that's another, but it has to do with love since we've been talking.
Say the words
Well, no,
first.
it has to do with, yeah. Normally we think of singing out, sing out, but in this case it's sing in, which to me means the basis of all music is silence. But and also the use, everything we do, God uses to draw everything back to him. So it's so it goes like this: love, love, love and sing in, love and sing in, love and sing in, love, love, love and sing in, love and sing in, love and sing in, love, life's use and praise in loving me in all, in any, love, love, love and sing in, love and sing in, love and sing in, love, life's use and praise in loving me in all, in any, in loving me in all, in any.
I can tell you that always gets a joy giggle out of me. It is good.
It is good. And I love the melodies that you picked for these, or that was picked.
But Scott picked that other one. Scott McKay. Yeah. And,
Scott told me that he wrote Be You, Be Really One for the French Sahavas.
Yeah.
Well, he put the melody, the words are from the messages.
Yeah, the words are from the messages. He wrote the melody,
he didn't
he wrote the tune.
He didn't do it for us, but he came to do a presentation as part of the Sahavas on mystical language. And I've got to say, it was so thick that we were not getting a tenth of it, but he tried his best. And then that's why I enjoy the singing, because that was much more accessible.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Absolutely, Armel. Absolutely. He can feed dunces, the masses, with these little ditties. We get that.
Now, Shippa, did you? There you are. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. This is Shilpa. It's been a while. This is Sahana, my daughter. So I wanted to share my quote. Oh, sorry, I don't think you can see me. It says, it's very short, but I feel like it carries a lot of weight. Hope should be fortified by a courage that can accept failure with equanimity. Want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Hope should be fortified by a courage that can accept failure with equanimity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I, when I saw this, I felt like it was so profound. Just, given, I think, like I said, everyone facing their challenges, and so it carries a lot of weight for me. I think I'm gonna have to kind of reread it over and over again. But I think it also relates to what I think Mahu was reading earlier, but I could be wrong.
No, it's related, and Shilpa, there is more to this quote.
Oh, okay.
You want me to share?
Sure.
Yeah. So it says, after what you read, which is hope should be fortified by courage, which can accept failure with equanimity. Then Baba continues, enthusiasm should be harnessed by the wisdom which knows how to wait for the fruit of action with patience.
I think I'm going to write this
Please
down.
give the source, Mahu. Can you give the source, please?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me look it up. Just 1 second. Hope is 45. Yeah. This is from Sparks.
Sparks.
Sparks from Meher Baba.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
little booklet.
Yeah.
And this one is in page 12.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
So
Mahu.
what comes after Mahu? I want to write this down because I feel like they go together.
Enthusiasm actually is quite applicable for now. It says enthusiasm harnessed by wisdom which knows how to wait for the fruit of action with patience. I can put it in the chat if you want.
Okay.
Did you get it, Shilpa?
Yeah, know how to wait for the fruit of action with patience. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Perfect. Thank you, Shilpa. That was great.
Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I think we're coming towards the end. I don't know if anybody has anything else that they want to bring up or bring out or celebrate.
Yeah, I have a brief one, and this is from Baba, and I won't quote a book. It's from Baba.
All right.
Don't feel down by what I bring up in you. Because he didn't say, but it's all going to come up, obviously. Yeah, don't feel down by what I bring up in you. He's just so masterful with words, my gosh. The humor.
Ruthie, can I ask Pam to end the meeting with that beautiful song again, please?
Yes, yes, please. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you, Pam. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Okay. This is called Auld Lang Syne with Baba, written December of last year, December 27th. Should God's acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should God's acquaintance be forgot and the days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dears, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For we have paddled in the stream many ages, sun till night, till Mayher rescued us. It seems we are always in his sight. For Auld Lang Syne, my dears, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink for the sake of auld lang syne. And may here now will fill your cup, and surely he'll fill mine. We'll take his cup of kindness yet for the sake of love divine. For auld lang syne, my dears, for auld lang syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of auld lang syne.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Pam. So beautiful.
Jay Baba, I have a question. What does
Yes.
Auld Lang Syne mean?
It means times gone by.
Okay. What language is that?
Maybe Old English, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Thank you. Pam. That's beautiful.
That's a wonderful question. I'm sure there's an answer there.
All right. Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll have a moment of silence together, bring in the year. All right. Jai
Ruthie, may I please suggest, it just came to me, that we also do a little prayer, at least beloved Baba prayer for people of the world who are in so much suffering. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, everybody, if you'd like to unmute, we'll say the beloved God prayer and then three J's together. Beloved God, help us all
To
love
love
you
More and more and more and more and more
until we are
until we
dead,
have more.
until we be
Worthy of
worthy of
you.
you.
Help us
Help us
all
all to hold fast
fast
to
Baba's
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 down
done
until the
until the
very
very end.
avatar.
और मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rudy. You really did such a great job bringing us together and sharing Baba's wisdom. Thank you.
Baba.
Thank you.
And Baba. Thank you, Baba.
I know, Mahu, we know. I know you know. I know you know everything there is to know, and I know you love me. I love you, love everything there is to love, and I know you love me. I am not I, you are not you, we are not we, but one. I want to be what you want me to, so come along and sing this song.
Ruthie,
Yes.
That was nice.
Something Mara said at the last darshan. She said, remember, beloved Baba, don't forget him for a moment. He loves to be loved.
How wonderful, Rosalie. Thank you.
I hear that song again.
Good to remember Mero too. Yeah. Well, with the hope that 2024 is full of, if it's not full, but at least half full of joy, especially health, good health for all of us. I hope so.
It'll be full of the manifestation, I'm sure.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of his love if we can just see it.
Oh, yeah, you're
Just
right.
see it. Yeah.
Know
See
it.
it and see it.
Whether we see it or not, that's what's happening.
Exactly.
One day we will, not a problem. We're
I'm
hopeful.
ready.
You be one. Be one. Be one and all and I and you see me. Be one and all and I and you see me. Be you. Be real. Be one.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba, thank you, Pam, for singing. That was beautiful.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, Pamela, you're good. Thank you for coming on and doing that. It was beautiful.
Oh, my
And
pleasure.
you look lovely in your purple today. I
Oh,
think
my
my
favorite
hat
color.
matches.
My favorite color.
Yeah, I hear that.
Oh, nice. You must like lavender too.
Yes, I like lavender. This is the Baba meeting room that we used to host meetings in, so we painted the walls Baba pink.
Oh, how nice. Yeah, it shows that.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
All lang syne.
Your husband is looking after you, Pam. You know that, right? He's in touch. They always stay in touch.
yeah,
God bless him. Baba bless.
thank you.
Jai Baba. Back
Jai
to
Baba. Much love.
duties. Much love.
Yeah, Baba.
Bye-bye.
Dears.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jay Baba. And Ralph didn't do anything. Ralph, are you there? Are you busy?
He's singing to the quails.
Ah, well, there you go. That sounds like a very good thing to be doing. Well, enjoy the day, and I'm so grateful that Baba brought us here this morning together. Well, I guess I can turn this recording off so they don't have.
It's